I tell them suckers to move. I ain't in the mood. Got me with the crew, let me do what I do. I tell them suckers to poof. Got me in the booth, lobby in the truth. Let me do what I do. Yeah, remember when the U come through, enter the music jungle. Or back with the block, I used to rock, I used to fumble. I still rock down, drop the ball where I want to. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Manny.
My name's Alberto.
And you're tuned in to the OnlyFights podcast.
Episode 35.
Let's get it.
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? How was your day of fights, right?
Yeah, it was early. I actually didn't get to watch them live. I wasn't feeling very well yesterday, but I caught all the fights today before this. Yeah.
I heard there was a lot of crazy knockouts in that card.
Yeah, it actually was a really crazy card. Like everything. Yeah, we'll talk about it then.
Word. Yeah. Well, I got some boxing to talk about, man. I want to start with what I didn't really catch too much, which was the DAZN card, because I was more into the ESPN card. But so Blair Cobb, we didn't talk about him much because honestly I didn't think he was worth mentioning, like all the antics he was doing.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to get into that unless it was really newsworthy. Well, it is now. Like he's been on social media basically being a character, man. He has this Ric Flair persona, like Blair the Flair Cobb, that's his name. So he's always doing the woo, and he acts like a superhero. Like what does he say? He's like never fear, Blair the Flair is here, and all that stupid.
Oh man,
like it's so cringeworthy and oh man. Anywho, the thing that made him like, I guess, go like viral in the boxing world is he was talking a lot of trash on Spence.
Yeah.
Errol Spence, and a lot of what he said sounded good. I'll put it like that. Like it sounded like yeah, you can't really defute that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. It's kind of like who are you? What have you done? I didn't like it, which is why I didn't want to talk about it. But talking about it because Virgil Ortiz was supposed to fight Michael McKinson. He had to pull out because of a very serious like illness.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but it's something with his kidneys. So he couldn't fight. And McKinson is on this card, but they instead elect to put Blair the Fair Cobb on the main event against Alexis Rochas, and that was a crazy fight.
Yeah.
So let me just run through. This is the first time me seeing Beck the Bully since he got knocked out from Gabe Rosado. I don't think this is his most recent fight. I must have missed it. But this is like his second or third fight since that knockout. But he scores a nice second round knockout of his own with a body shot against David Zagara. Looked pretty good doing it. And in the next bout, Michael McKinson, supposed to, like I said, he was supposed to fight Virgil Ortiz, and instead he gets Alex Martin, crafty, tricky guy, slick. McKinson was struggling with him, but it was a lackluster fight. I didn't really watch much of it. It was kind of boring, but McKinson does get the unanimous decision, and I guess we wait and see what's up with Virgil Ortiz, because I think Virgil Ortiz is gonna smoke this guy. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't see nothing that he was doing that or that would trouble Ortiz. So I don't know. And then in the main event, man, like I said, Blair the Flair Cobb, the freaking character that he was, taking on Alexis Rochas. This is another example, like back when with Primetime with Chris Colbert.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When Chris Colbert had a moment like that of his own when he was coming at Wilder after Wilder was making all those excuses for the Fury loss.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you seen him in his last fight, not looking so good.
Yeah.
Looking terrible, actually. So this is kind of more or less the same, man. Cobb, the crazy thing is he's been calling out Boots.
Yeah.
Now they're both, Boots is from Philly. So is Blair Cobbs. They're both from Philly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Boots is like, if we're talking Philly, man, Boots is like the 2017 Eagles, the one that won that Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. Boots is Philly special.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? and Blair Cobbs is like the Eagles right now. So depressing, man. It was bad, man. Watching it was fun though. It was fun watching this fight, man. Blair comes out, and I mean he's game, man. He's ready to fight, and he's eating these was it the right or left hooks? I think it was both, man.
Yeah.
Eating these left hooks and just getting hurt. He got hurt early, like in the second or third round. Gets hurt in the eighth after having, I think he had like one good round in the seventh, and after that he gets hurt in the eighth. He gets dropped actually, right? Yeah, he gets
Yep.
the uppercut, eats an uppercut, and just goes down. He looked hurt real bad and
Yeah.
manages to survive the round, and he trains out a wild card, so he's being coached by Freddie Roach, and he told him like, "Yo, I'm gonna stop this fight if you don't, you're taking too many punches." And in the ninth round, the referee made sure of that, man, Cobb would he was holding Rochas' hand and just taking left hooks to the face
Yeah.
in the process, and catches an overhand right and backed up against the ropes, eats another combination. The referee steps in, had to take a few body shots in the process.
Yeah.
Cobb thought the fight was still going. Oh man, it was bad. It was just so fun to watch, like because he comes out looking like a cartoon character with the whole heroic theme on social media, and that's just what this is now, man. This in today's day and age of social media, like these fighters can just kind of like that was some WWE shit, for real, because like you just playing a character, and now you're just looking stupid, and
Yeah, he definitely made a character of himself.
yeah, absolutely. But nonetheless, it was pretty fun to watch, pretty entertaining,
Yeah, definitely entertaining to watch.
and I
He's definitely tough, man. He took a lot of damage.
oh yeah, he got a chin. I mean, that is
Yeah.
that Philly,
For sure.
tough man shit.
Even that knockdown, I think most people that they would probably got stopped right there.
Yeah.
He managed to like get up on the knee right away, like, because I think if he would just laid there, I think the ref would have stopped it.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody would have
Disputed that. Yeah.
exactly. So that was the DAZN card, which I didn't watch live because I elected to watch the card that I thought was gonna be better, which was Top Rank, and in terms of on paper it was better, with bigger names. Headlining was Edgar Berlanga, the chosen one, taking on Steve Rolls. And on the undercard, I started watching it with John Bauza taking on Tony Lewis. This is a 140-pound contest.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay. It was kind of a boring fight. Bauza, he did what he had to do. He looked better in his last bout, but he pulled out a dominant victory. He just, couldn't manage to stop his opponent. But sharp punches, good, ring generalship, I guess. Walking his opponent down, stuff like that. Just 8 rounds of the same. So wasn't the most entertaining fight. But always looking forward to seeing where Baus is going to go from here. A lot of guys in 140 pounds for him to step up to. And that's that. In the co-main, you had probably one of my favorite fighters today, Xander Zayaz, taking on Quincy Lavares. This is 154 pounds, 8 rounds. And Xander Zayaz, man, just, I'm just going to continue to regurgitate what's constantly being said about this kid, man. He's like the sharpest that we're seeing out of these new crop of fighters. And I mean, his footwork is great. His power, his speed. He throws great combinations.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. What he displayed in this fight, he couldn't get the knockout against Quincy Lavares. He's never been stopped, and but he's dominating the whole fight. This is different from the first fight because he just knows what he has to do, and he's landing clean punches and clean combinations. And even when he thinks, or when he knows that he has his opponent hurt, he doesn't go crazy. He always leaves leaves enough gas in the tank, for just in case, he doesn't stop his opponent.
Yeah.
Like very mature for his age, the way he fights, and
Shows patience.
Right, the patience and all that, being poised, and he cut his hair. He used to have like the braids and long hair and stuff, and now he has like a more I guess mature haircut. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But yeah, man, and after the fight and the post interview, he said that, he felt great doing all 8 rounds and ready to put on a show, and crowd loved it. They were in New York City, by the way. They were in Madison Square Garden, so
Nice.
it was all Puerto Ricans. Well, on one side,
Yeah.
you know, they weren't fighting all Puerto Ricans, but um, yeah. And then in the main event, the guy who quote unquote everybody came to see, even though I was tuning in to watch Zayaz a little more, but it's all good, man. I wanted to see Edgar Berlanga fight because I didn't like his last fight. I didn't like his performance in his last fight. He got dropped against Concero, and he had the 14 or some 14, 15 first round knockouts, and since then he's had 2 decision victories. And like I said, in his last fight, he got dropped. So, had to see where he was going with this fight.
Yeah.
Especially against Steve Rolls. I was telling people, I said, man, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get past Steve Rolls, because Rolls, he was well, he's coming off of 2 knockout losses. I'm sorry, wins against formidable opponents, but this is after coming off of that knockout loss to Triple G,
Yeah.
and it's against Triple G, who is still a monster, in his own right. But he's coming off of 2 knockout wins, and Berlanga's coming off of 2 unanimous decision victories. But those don't feel as good when you were coming out of 14 or so first round knockouts. So I just think that Steve Rolls had more coming into this fight, despite being much older and not in the limelight and things of
Yeah.
that nature. I thought it'd be a closer fight than one-sided beatdown, and I think I was right, because not because Steve Rolls really came to fight and put it on Berlanga, but more or less Berlanga really didn't come to do much other than stalk Rolls and just look for the one shot. He wasn't throwing his jab, just chasing Steve Rolls, and even when he did throw a jab, he was lazy with it. He was getting countered from time to time. In the earlier middle rounds, Rolls would start to open up, and I honestly think he won a lot of rounds. I thought he made it a close fight. I still thought Berlanga won. Berlanga would win a pretty dominant, in the scorecards, but I only thought he won by like 2 rounds. Not because Rolls was doing amazing work, simply because dude was doing nothing but just looking for the right hand. Even when he did land the right hand from time to time, he'd managed to hurt Rolls, but not in the manner that like a one punch knockout.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd have to follow up with some combinations and other things, and I don't know, man. He was trying really hard to do his best Deontay Wilder impression. I didn't like that, with the 1-2 and minus the 1, just going straight to the 2, and I didn't like it. I didn't like his performance. This is now 2 fights in a row where I'm looking at him like, I don't
Yeah.
know, man. The chosen one, I don't know. Whoever chose him, I think you may have made a mistake. But hey, I could be wrong, man. We could see improvement. Hopefully he improves. I know he's getting some extra guys in his corner. I don't really know the names. I don't always go that far into it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely liking what I've seen with Xander Zayaz, and Berlanga not so much. But I'm hoping that could change, because he's fighting at 168, and I'm sure he'll move up at some point. I'm sure Benavidez will move up at some point,
Yeah.
and who knows, maybe even the Canelo fight would be on the table if he improves, and can get there, because he's still undefeated and he's still winning. He's just looking a lot worse, despite. I mean, I'm not expecting first round knockouts to continue, but
Yeah.
you haven't had a knockout since, and you haven't even been looking good. So, even in the post fight interview, I didn't like the way he was talking. He even admitted it. He was like, "Yeah, I was just looking for the right hand." And they said, "Why wasn't you using it? Why wasn't you using your jab? Your corner was telling you to use your jab." And he said, "Oh, my elbow was hurting," and some other shit. I don't know. I didn't like it. Even the energy there.
Yeah.
But you know, he was like even complaining that like Rolls was moving too much. Which I actually I think I forgot to mention, but I wrote down here.
Wow.
Rolls exhibited some good lateral movement to avoid getting hit, and that's boxing, man.
Yeah.
That's literally like the whole this hit and not getting hit. That's the second part.
That's the art of it.
Yeah, that's the second part. He was, you know, and Rolls was like I said. Now Rolls was doing he did good work in his fight. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know if you can argue that he won or anything, but um. Yeah, I'm just a little more unimpressed by Berlanga in this fight. I'm hoping he can rally back and knock somebody the F out in his next fight so I
Yeah.
can be excited again. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was Top Rank, the main card. I didn't catch much of the prelims, but
So who would you say is like the top Puerto Rican fighter right now?
I think it's Zayaz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Zayaz. Because the only one that's been active that was Danny Garcia, and I mean he's not.
Yeah.
I mean he's good, but he's I can't think if there's anybody else. If there is, I'm just forgetting. I know we just saw Jose Pedraza. He looked pretty good against Ramirez. Yeah, not really a lot of guys. But I think that's gonna change pretty soon with Zayaz and Berlanga if he can get his shit together. You know what I'm saying? I'm
sure.
rooting for him though. You know, I'm Puerto Rican, so I want to see him do good. Plus this other guy, John Bauza.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of guys coming up.
Yeah, there's always Puerto Rican boxers coming up.
Yeah.
It's just how far are they gonna go? But if I had to put my money on one, it would easily be Zayaz.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the UFC card, like you said, it was Saturday in London, so it was like during the day. I think the main card started like at 4. And yeah, man, from what I saw, it seemed like that crowd was fucking.
I was just about to ask what the atmosphere was like.
It seemed like the atmosphere was crazy, and obviously I went to the one, and so like I got to experience it firsthand. But this looked like next level shit. And it really made me think of like in soccer, they're known for like how crazy they get at fucking soccer games and shit. So I can only imagine how they act when they're witnessing like some fucking some combat sports.
I'm always told that like those like UK those European fans when they make those when in terms of like boxing is lit. So I'm sure with MMA it would be just as crazy.
The arena was packed, right? It was sold out, and then outside the arena, it was like a whole other sea of people standing outside the arena.
Wow!
Like I think they had like some kind of projector screen. Like I know they do that for the soccer games. Like there'll be people that go to the stadium to watch the game on a projector outside the stadium because they can't get in the game or whatever.
Do you know the capacity or like?
I'm not sure. It was the O2 Arena. I think that's what it was called. I'm not
sure.
The
O2 Arena.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the capacity was.
I can't remember either.
But it looked like it was almost the same amount of people inside and then outside.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, the I know, like, 'cause, I mean, shit, if these guys can sell out the Wembley,
yeah,
like 100,000 people, it's just crazy, man. So,
and there was all the UK boxing guys were there. AJ was there. Eddie Hearn was there.
I seen Eddie Hearn with Dana.
Yep, he was sitting right there, right next to
Two best
Dana.
promoters in the fight game.
Easily.
Yeah, that's dope. That was dope to see.
Yeah, really cool. But yeah, man. So right from the beginning, I would say the card lived up to the hype pretty much, and I think it was even bigger. I don't think we really expected it to be like this, and it's been so long, obviously, because of the pandemic and shit. Like we haven't had a card in London in a while.
Real quick though, I just want to say that's gonna make up for that last lackluster pay-per-view. A beautiful free card that could have easily been pay-per-view worthy. All right, now
for sure.
Good.
So I didn't catch any of the prelims. I'll just go through the main card. First fight was a lightweight bout. We had Jai Herbert taking on Ilia Topuria. Jai Herbert is a British fighter, 33 years old. Ilia Topuria is I think Georgian. That's how you say it, right? They're from George, the country George.
No idea, dude.
I think Georgian.
Sounds right though.
So this guy is the guy that had the little altercation with Patty the Batty.
Oh right.
This week.
Right.
when they got to the hotel, I guess whatever the host hotel was. I guess they had. I'm not sure what their history is, but I guess they had a little run-in with each other and like a little stare down, and then I guess like some punches were thrown, and I think Patty threw something at him, but nothing really happened. It got broken up quick, but it seemed pretty serious for a minute. I don't know
Yeah,
what
it
their
looked
what their
crazy.
history was, but yeah, Taporia's a really good up and comer. He's I think this is his second or third UFC fight. He's 11-0. 25 years old, so he's really young. Jai Herbert, really tall fighter. He was 6'1", and Topuria was only 5'7", so he was a lot longer than him.
Yeah.
Herbert had an 8-inch reach advantage, which was very obvious. You could tell right away, and he's 11-3. So fight starts. These guys are they get after it right away. You could tell right away. Obviously, Topuria's having trouble getting inside. And he gets hit with a huge fucking leg kick or head kick. Pretty much it's like shin right on the front of the chin. Sits him down. He looks like he's out for a second, and then he's able to grab a leg and kind of wrestle. And he's known for his wrestling and jiu-jitsu and stuff. So he does a good job of going for the takedown and kind of it's like a long takedown. He spends at least like 30 seconds getting the takedown.
Yeah.
Gets him down, and survives the round. Herbert is able to get to his feet by the end of the round, but Topuria gets back up, and just by the look on his face, you could tell like his whole fucking his whole mindset just like shifted. He didn't seem very confident at all. Second round, Herbert still staying on the outside, kind of picking him apart, and Topuria just makes his way in and pushes him back. He gets him up against the cage and just unloads a combination and hits him with a huge right hand. And just fucking knocks him out cold. The way he fell down was crazy.
Yeah.
So hell of a comeback win. Very impressive.
Yeah. It was a crazy one punch knockout.
Yeah, wild. Like it was kind of walk off, right? He hit him and just walked off, and the way he fell it was bad. That might have been the only British fighter that lost, at least on the main card, because after that the fucking Brits went on a fucking rip. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was their night to shine.
So Topuria does call out, Patty. It kind of sets up perfect, but he gets the win and he calls out Pat. I forget what he calls him. He has some kind of stupid nickname for him. He says, I want him next. And so the next fight we had actually his teammate Molly McMahon taking on Luana Carolina. Molly McMahon, she's a little older, she's 31. So she fights with the same camp out of Patty. They fought on the same card last time before, and they both won. And she came out to celebrate the win with him and stuff. Like, it was pretty cool. So she's 12-4. I think this is also her second fight in the UFC. Carolina, Brazilian, 8-2. She's 28. It was a really good fight. McMahon seemed to just pretty much have her way with her. Carolina was very very tough. I think it was in the second round where she did like a wrestling move on her, right? She like fucking picked her up, body slammed her, and then like landed on top of her
it was
on
some
her back.
crazy shit. It was like an F5.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but
She had her on her back and then just slammed her.
Yeah, it was funny. So yeah, it looked like she was pretty much having her way with her the whole fight, and in the third round, you could tell Carolina's pretty tired, getting hurt. She's she shows a lot of toughness though. She's taking a lot of big punches, and then McMahon just hits her with the spinning elbow and just right on the jaw, knocks her out, and
Clean.
she just lays back. And you can see her eyes like roll in the back of her head, and she ends up staying down for a while.
As if you couldn't see a better knockout right after a crazy knockout.
Yeah,
that you probably did. Depending on your opinion of it, but yeah, man, that was insane.
Yeah, just as crazy. It was wild, and obviously the place went fucking crazy.
Right.
And that chick is so like animated, and she seems like she just has so much fun. Like she jumped out of the cage, she was like running around the cage. She went and gave Dana a hug. Like she grabbed a fake belt from somebody in the crowd and ran back in the cage with it. It was crazy.
Wow. Did she give the belt back?
It looks like she gave it back to somebody. I think when she came back in the fight, she saw that the other fighter was still down, and I thought she was like, "Oh shit, I should probably calm down."
Yeah. Oh yeah, I remember being upset about that. But that's okay. Yeah, she definitely was excited. So, she couldn't contain herself. Yeah.
Yeah, and to be at home, like that's gotta be crazy.
And then
That whole
when
crowd.
she realized it, that's when she stopped and started showing her respect. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so real impressive win by her. Can't wait to keep seeing her fight. What weight class is that? She is in the flyweight division. Yeah, she's little. Yeah, so I'm excited to see her make her way up. Next fight, we had a welterweight bout. Gunnar Nelson made his return against Takashi Sato. He's a Japanese fighter, 31 years old. Gunnar Nelson. I thought Gunnar Nelson was older because he's been in UFC for a while.
Yeah.
He's only 33.
Okay.
He's from Iceland, and this is like his this is his comeback fight after like a 3-year layoff. So I think he had like, I forget what the injury was, but he had some kind of injury that he had like a couple surgeries and shit.
Wow.
So this is his first fight back after 3 years. And he looked really good. He pretty much had his way. He got the unanimous decision win. He was 3 for 3 in takedowns and pretty much just used wrestling. Pretty much ragdolled Sato the whole fight.
Nice.
So congrats to Gunnar Nelson, getting another win. And then Paddy the Baddy, they could have made this the main event, really.
Yeah.
The crowd went crazy when this kid came out. Really, it seems like a young Connor. It's really the best way to describe it. Like his energy and, he got that crazy thick like accent.
Yeah.
Like anything he says, it just sounds so cool. Like, so he was taking on Rodrigo Vargas, a Mexican fighter. So Paddy's 27, and he's 17-3. So this is his second fight in the UFC. And Vargas been around a little longer, 36 years old. So fight starts, Vargas goes right at him, and Paddy's, he gets hit. He gets hit a lot early in the fights. I remember in the first UFC fight, he got rocked real tough, real hard. And this one's almost the same thing. He gets rocked, and he pretty much goes for the legs. I think Rodrigo ends up on top right at first, and Paddy's safe on the ground though. He's good off his back, so I'm sure he was content being on his back. He's known, he has submissions on his back and stuff, so I knew once he had him in that position, he was safe. Vargas looked really strong though. He was landing some ground and pound. So yeah, they end up in that position for a while. Paddy eventually makes his way back up. Vargas are all over him, so he still has him clinched up against the cage. And then Paddy takes him down, slams him down on the ground, ends up on top. And then they have a scramble. Vargas, I think, it looks like he thinks that Paddy's going to try to get up. And then he tries to get up. And Paddy just, gets on the back so easily. Like, Vargas really just gives it up.
Yeah, easy.
He really just gave up the back. And, right away, Paddy got the hooks in and takes the back. And it's just, fighting hands, basically, just to try to get the neck. And then he pretty much, it doesn't seem like he has it. It looks like he has a choke on the chin, and then it looks like he just squeezes it until it just slides right under the chin.
Yeah,
and then
pretty much.
Then he tapped right away. Pretty much like muscled it in there. And Vargas had a tap, and Paddy gets up, and the fucking crowd goes crazy. Same thing. Molly McMahon comes back out. She's
in the ring,
celebrating
in the
with him.
cage.
Jumps in the cage. There, it was awesome. So yeah, he gets the first round rear naked choke. And same thing, he calls out Topuria after the fight. So, that kind of set it up beautifully. It'll be nice if, hopefully they make that happen next. Like, what I mean? They need to capitalize off of that. Like, I feel like they kind of fucked up on not capitalizing off the Jorge Masvidal and Leon Edwards thing.
Yeah.
The whole 3-piece in the soda thing. Like, that was such a dope story. That should have made that fight happen right after that.
Yeah.
I think that made Leon Edwards lose some of his, like, fucking, a little bit of his hype. Because I think, he's getting the next title shot, and I don't think anybody really even knows or really cares about it.
Hey, man, 9 fights in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we got to keep saying.
He just has so much bad luck, but yeah, 9. Like I always say, like, Nate Diaz stole that performance away from him, and with that one punch at the end of the 5th round.
Right.
He stole that whole fight from him, basically. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I'm excited to see Paddy the Baddy come back and keep fighting. Topuria would be a really, really good fight. I can't even imagine how that would go. Both guys, crazy chins, really aggressive styles.
Yeah, Patty has to be careful in those in
Yeah,
the beginning. Getting caught with against somebody like him. I don't know how that's gonna do well for him.
yeah,
So yeah, that would be a great fight if they could make that next, like you said.
yeah, for sure. And maybe in London, because they said that and even Dana White said after the event at the post conference, he's like, I'm soaked in head to toe in beer right now. He said people are just fucking throwing beers.
Nice.
Yeah. So next fight, the co-main event, featherweight fight. We had Arnold Allen versus Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker coming back down to featherweight. After making his run at lightweight, taking a couple losses. Arnold Allen, I don't think I've seen him fight before, but this kid is the real deal, man. 28 years old, 18-1, another British fighter. I noticed he had Faraz Sahabi in his corner. That was George St. Pierre's coach,
Nice.
his head coach. So that's that guy wouldn't. I don't think he would just be in anybody's corner. Dan Hooker, 32, out of New Zealand. I was really rooting for Dan Hooker. This fight starts and they just get after it right away. That kid Arnold Allen he could bang, man. That kid
Yeah.
was landing hard punches on Dan Hooker, and Dan was just standing there. It looked like he was trying to duck his head underneath, but wasn't really moving his head.
Yeah.
It was weird.
He was trying to hit. He was trying to swing back, but he really should have focused on defending himself. I think.
And he did land one big shot on Arnold Allen that kind of made him take a knee for a second. He kind of, it kind of made him wobble. So, and Dan Hooker was wobbled. So they both wobble each other. They have this crazy exchange. Arnold Allen just completely unloads on him. You could tell he thinks he's going to get the finish. Hooker kind of survives it. And then, you can tell they're just kind of trying to get their fucking energy back after what just happened. Hooker's already busted up. His nose looks like it's fucking broken. He's bleeding all crazy. And then Arnold Allen again just gets him, catches him a bunch of big punches, gets him against the ropes. And Dan Hooker just covers up, and the ref, stops it.
Yeah, good stoppage.
Good stoppage for sure. Kind of sad for Dan Hooker. I don't know where he's gonna go from here now.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have took a little bit of I don't want to say an easier fight, but I don't know. This was that kid Arnold Allen definitely proved that, he's gonna be in be contending in their featherweight division. So yeah, he gets the first round stoppage, TKO against Dan Hooker. Again, the place goes fucking crazy. I think this is the kid that, how I said last week, some no name kid is gonna fucking make a name for himself with a big knockout win. I think this is the one. All the divisions, man, it's crazy. Like we have so many like up and comers coming up. You know what I mean? That are all like top prospects that all have, a lot really good records now too. For a long time the UFC we didn't see that, where these guys only have 1 or 2 losses. It's exciting. So yeah, the main event we had Alexander Volkov taking on Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall is the up and comer here. He's had some really impressive wins. I think in his last fight he submitted Andrei Arlovsky, and I think they said Arlovsky's he's only been submitted one other time in his career, and he's been fighting for a really long time. So yeah, Aspinall is 28 years old, 12-2. He's 5-0 in the UFC, and Volkov, we've seen him fight a bunch. 33, Russian. So this fight starts, and right away, you could see Tom Aspinall just look so confident, and he looks really sharp. You could tell he's way faster. He's like switching stances and stuff. He does kind of move like a middleweight. The commentators were saying that, and it's true. He definitely was moving really quick. He's catching Volkov a couple punches, and then he goes for a takedown, just takes him down like effortlessly, pretty much. And Volkov is a big guy. He's massive.
Yeah.
Takes him down, and does some pretty good ground and pound. He cuts Volkov pretty good on the forehead and cuts his ear with elbows. Volkov makes his way back up, and fucking same thing. Tom Aspinall times it perfect. Volkov throws a punch, Aspinall times it perfectly, and just like spears him, takes him down real easy. And same thing, goes to work on top. He's in side control, I believe. and then just isolates his one arm and does like a straight arm bar on him, and almost it looked like he hyperextended his elbow. Like,
yeah, that was gruesome to watch. I
Yeah.
was like, oh man.
it was only like for a second, but just that 1 second where he turns it the opposite
He
way. It's
tapped
like,
right away.
Oh, yeah.
I don't blame him.
I don't even know where his hand came from. It just like came out of nowhere and and tapped on him. It was crazy. And Volkov is another guy. I think they said he's only been submitted one other time in his career, and it was like over 10 years ago or something. So really impressive. Aspinall taking down these big guys and submitting them. I think he's only. They said he got 100% finish rate in his wins.
Wow.
And he got knockouts and submissions. So yeah, man. Same thing. The place fucking goes crazy. People are throwing beer everywhere, and even Aspinall's like, he takes a beer like from somebody in the crowd and starts chugging it and shit. And I saw Tatu Avasa posted he like tweeted something, and he's like, oh, now all of a sudden everybody wants to drink beer, like chug a beer after their fights.
Yeah.
Or I forget what he said. He said something like, oh, I remember when it wasn't cool to do it or something like that.
Right.
But yeah, man, it was cool. The place was going crazy. Like I said, that the arena, the whole atmosphere looked bananas. Like you could actually hear like the crowd a lot more than I think usual.
That's what I'm saying, man. Those British fans, man. I gotta go. Remember when Fury fought Wilder the second time, and all those UK fans came out and made it seem like America was UK and shit. It was nuts, man.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, hell of a card. Dana White pretty much said that they're gonna try to come back to London again this year.
Oh, they have to.
Yeah. So I mean that was a regular thing. I'm pretty sure they would go there at least 3-4 times a year before.
Yeah.
But like we said, obviously with the COVID shit, they haven't went in a while. But I'm sure they're gonna be back soon. It would be dope to see them do a fight like in the big stadiums that AJ fights and shit.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, O2 Arena is pretty big.
Yeah.
AJ fights there too. That actually might have been where he fought Usyk, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, man, I always associate the zone with those UK cards. They have one next week. Kiko Martinez makes his return after knocking out Kid Galahad. He's gonna take on Josh Warrington for the IBF title, featherweight title. Also on top rank on ESPN Plus, they're gonna have the return of Miguel Berchelt. He's coming off that knockout loss to Oscar Valdez. He's taking on Jeremiah Nakatia, 10-round bout. And also Tim Tszyu takes on Terrell Gausha on Showtime. Tim Tszyu, son of Kasazu. Joseph Adorno is on that card, taking on Michael Rivera. That should be a good fight. Adorno's from Allentown. Rivera, I believe that's the Dominican cat that looks just like Trinidad and Muhammad Ali. Don't ask how he just does. If you don't believe me, look him up. Michelle Rivera, good fighter. Elvis Rodriguez on that card as well. And then some key fights, man. The return of my guy, man, Triple G. Triple G taking on Ryota Murata. In Japan, this is going to be a unification bout. Triple G has the IBF title in the middleweight division.
Right.
And Murata has the WBA title. And then I think Jamal Charlo has the WBC. And if Demetrius Andrade is still in the 160, I don't know if he moved up yet, but I know he had the WBO. It's a mess. But at least these guys are fighting each other. I don't know, man. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if Triple G gets this victory for a few reasons. Again, they're fighting in Japan. They're fighting in Murata's backyard. We've seen what happened with Josh Taylor and Catterall. Also, Triple G might not be Triple G anymore. I hope he is. He looked good in his last fight, but it wasn't really against a special opponent.
Yeah.
Murata's pretty good. And I don't think Murata's going to have to do too much to get the judges to favor him in this bout. So I believe Triple G is the favorite. I might put some money on the Japanese guy. Because if he doesn't get knocked out, he might win this fight, even if he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? That's boxing for you. But, yeah, that's April 9th, if I didn't mention that, on DAZN. April 16th, the return of Errol Spence Oh my God. Speaking of like Spence from earlier and the whole Blair Cobb situation, Spence was clowning dude on social media when he got knocked out.
I bet.
It was hilarious. You gotta.
I seen a couple people post a picture of him.
Yeah. So, anyways, the return of Errol Spence, man, April 16th, Showtime pay-per-view. It's gonna be in Arlington, Texas. I think that's the Cowboys arena, right? That's
Yeah,
where they.
most likely.
Yeah, they're gonna fight in the Cowboys arena. What's that? AT&T Stadium.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's gonna be taking on your Dennis Ugas. That's another unification bout. Um, and then I believe a week after that, April's a lit month for boxing, man. I'm just gonna run through this month and this month only. So a week after that, you have the return of Tyson Fury taking on Dillian White for Fury's WBC heavyweight title. This is an ESPN pay-per-view. This is gonna be in London, so it's gonna be a during the day fight for us Americans.
Yeah.
For us, and I can't wait for that, man. You know, it's always fun to see Tyson Fury. I don't know what the hell's going on with Dillian White. He hasn't been showing up to like the pressers and nothing.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's up. And then a week after that, of course, we have Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez, ESPN Plus. It's a free fight. This is another unification bout in the junior lightweight division, 130 pounds. Stevenson has the WBO title. Valdez has the WBC. On that same night, you have Katie Taylor taking on Amanda Serrano. That's for Undisputed in the women's lightweight division.
Is that fight free too?
That is on DAZN, but it's not DAZN pay-per-view if DAZN. But then again, right after that, you have the Canelo and Dimitri Bivol fight. That also says DAZN. It doesn't say DAZN pay-per-view either, but I know for a fact that is.
Yeah.
So I would assume it's going to be just regular DAZN.
Yeah, most likely.
But yeah, May 7th, which is basically Cinco de Mayo weekend, Canelo, his return against Bivol. The week after that, you have Jermell Charlo taking on Brian Castano, the rematch. This is for the Undisputed at the 154-pound division. And then a week or 2 weeks after that, you have Javante Davis fighting Rolly on Showtime. All right. Yeah.
So if
Not
Triple G
interested in that
loses, obviously that's gonna fuck up the Canelo fight.
Yeah, Triple G is in the contract. He has to win his fight, and Canelo obviously has to win his fight against Bivol. I'm not counting Bivol out, but I'm not putting money on him either. Bivol's a good fighter, man, but so is Canelo. I think the chances of Murado beating Triple G in his backyard are much higher than the chances of Canelo losing to Bivol in where are they fighting? Vegas?
Probably Vegas. Ever Cinco de Mayo.
Vegas. Yeah. Yeah, Bivol, I think he's already down in the scorecards and needs a knockout to win this fight. Like, I don't see, unless he really, like, one-sided, beat down, but I don't see that against the Canelo Alvarez. But yeah, that's the boxing schedule as far as I wanted to go to. Some great fights in the month of April and a few in May as well. So I'm very excited about that. What's going on in the world of UFC?
So the next fight night, March 26th, we got, which is this Saturday, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
This Saturday, the main event is Curtis Blades taking on Chris Daukaus. This should be a pretty good fight. Both guys coming off of losses, trying to get back in that heavyweight mix. And then in April, we also got UFC 273, April 9th. Alexander Volkov taking on the Korean Zombie for the featherweight belt. And then also the co-main is for the bantamweight belt, Aljamain Sterling taking on Peter Yan. Oh yeah, I think Peter Yan is the interim champ now because Sterling couldn't fight.
Nice.
Did you see the stuff about Peter Yan? He's from Russia, and apparently his whole team was denied visas.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There was a bunch of fighters joking, like Triple C and Sean O'Malley were joking around saying, "Oh, we'll corner. We'll be in your corner."
Right.
But it seems that's like a pretty serious issue. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he fights without them or.
Right.
That's crazy. And he's from Russia, so he's not one of those fighters that spends a whole lot of time here. I don't think he has a whole lot of relationships, with gyms here and stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what's gonna happen there, but there should be a good fight. Hopefully it doesn't get caught off for whatever reason. but we'll see. I kind of hate how Aljamain Sterling now is like acting as if like he really like won the belt.
Yeah.
Like he was like talking shit. I mean, obviously, like I understand you want to sell the fight, but he was just like lying.
You gotta keep it real.
He was just like blatantly lying. He was saying, "Oh yeah, everybody knows that I was whooping your ass until you hit me with that illegal knee." Like, dude, you were like broke. He was like broken.
Yeah.
It was like a matter of time before the fight was gonna be stopped. So that's just kind of a little too far, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway. So and then also on that card, Gilbert Burns taking on Khamzat Chimaev. That should be a really good fight. You know what I mean? We want to see what Chimaev got. I think Gilbert Burns is a good test for him, and I would like to see him fight Usman. That'd be a really good fight.
Yeah.
There's not too many other people in that division. Even I don't know if you saw the latest person that called out Usman this week. Fucking Conor.
Oh yeah.
Conor said that he said that's the fight that he's looking at right now because he wants to fight for the title. You know, what I mean, it seems like they're not gonna let him fight for the lightweight title. So he's like, all right, fuck it, I'll go up to welterweight where there's not as many contenders, and what I mean, I'll take a title shot there at 170.
That's so trash, man.
They'll probably give it to him. They're probably gonna give it to him. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that fight. I don't know. Conor was pretty much saying that Usman is like a sloppy boxer, and he has power, but he's not very technical. I think he's been getting a lot better over the years, and especially after knocking out Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah.
Like I think if he does it to Masvidal, he can do it to Conor. But we'll see. I mean, and Conor, still he's saying he wants to come back in the summer, but I think he just got cleared to start training. Like I think he's like hitting mitts and stuff. I don't think he's like doing full MMA yet. So he's still got a long road ahead of him. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's gonna be a really tough fight for him.
This guy. He also said he also said he's gonna go to boxing and be a world champion. And it's just like this guy.
Yeah. And I think the only other fight announcement. Let me see. Oh, and then so real quick while we're on the welterweight, so Kobe Covington, he lost to Usman twice. He's talking about now going up to 185 and fighting Izzy. And I don't think he's gonna be able to. Obviously Kobe could wrestle, but I don't think he's gonna be able to hold Izzy down.
No.
It's way too big, and the problem, like, that's why there should be another weight class in there in the middle. Because yeah, Kobe should, he probably should go up maybe a weight class or two, or I mean, he should go up a weight class, but it shouldn't be a 15-pound jump. You know what I mean? From 170 to 185, like that's just way too big. And Izzy is so long and tall. Yeah, I don't even think Dana makes that fight. That seems like that would be pretty easy for Izzy.
Yeah.
And then the other fight that they announced was for UFC 274. Rose Namajunas is going to defend her belt against Carla Esparza.
Thug Rose.
Yep. So that should be good. They actually fought before. They fought for the first strawweight belt when they first made the strawweight belt. I believe was the last belt they made for the females.
Yeah.
So when they added that one, it was for like an Ultimate Fighters season, and Rose and Carla fought for that belt pretty much for the first strawweight belt.
Nice.
And Carla actually submitted her and beat her. She beat Rose. So Carla she was then the first. She became the first strawweight champ, and then I think her very next fight she lost to Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and then obviously Joanna was champ for a really long time.
Yeah.
Until Rose worked her way back up, and then Rose beat her. So this is actually a pretty cool story now. Carla Esparza, coming back and fighting for the title again. Now Rose being the champ, Rose being able to get that loss back. That's gonna be really good.
Nice little grudge match, yeah.
Yep. So that's gonna be the co-main. The main event's gonna be Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira.
Right. Yeah.
Which I kind of figured they would do that. Like Trevor Whitman always tries to get all his guys to fight on the same cards.
Yeah.
So I figured Rose was gonna fight on that card. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Yeah.
Word. Yeah, I mean, that's all I got. I mean, I don't really want to get into any of the rumors or politics or anything.
Yeah.
We'll save that for the next episode.
Word.
Nah, man. Once again, my name is Manny.
My name's Alberto.
This is the Only Fights podcast, and we out.
Peace.
Peace.